Just wanted to jump on here and do a little painting. In case anybody was about and wants to have a chat. I have another relatively rare occasion where I've got an empty house, and well, apart from one who baby's upstairs asleep, and yeah, I just wanted to. I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a bit of painting, so just jump on here and see if anyone was around. These nice rare occasions where it's quiet in the house. Yeah, sort of winding down now for Christmas. I kind of feel like this is the last day now, if I'm honest, although I am working Monday and Tuesday. But it's Friday and it's work's pretty much over now, so I'm having a beer and doing a bit of painting. And I haven't painted any of my marines for it's been a while, so I wanted to get a little bit of progress done on them. Yeah. Hopefully, potentially finish off these three guys, and then that'll be all 5 of them done. So that'd be quite nice. It'd be quite nice to tick those off the list, have them out of the way. And so it's been a while since I've done any work on these guys, so been a bit preoccupied with other things. And sort of basically just working on all loads of other bits and pieces and stuff, you know. So the Marines got kind of put on the back burner, unfortunately, for a little while. So they need a bit of love, and I've got all these sort of half-finished units of them, so they, you know, trying to get the trying to get finished, you know, squads and stuff done. Because at the moment I've got kind of 1 or 2 done from a unit and loads of half-finished ones. So yeah, trying to be selective about which ones I'm putting the effort into at the moment, because I haven't really got long to get them finished now. And yeah, this is just basically just putting on the first layer of the highlights for the armour, which is quite a nice quick step, really. I imagine a lot of people at this point are done with work, are they? I would have thought. It seems to be that way anyway. Lots of people are packing up today. As I said, I'm still not quite finished, so we'll do Monday and Tuesday, and then I'm done. But I don't go back until the 6th of January, I think it is. Do go back to work, which is quite nice. I actually get quite a bit of time off. So be at home, spend some time with the kids and stuff, and do all of that. See some family. Been really looking forward to it. Been very, very busy. So it's quite subtle at the moment. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but the highlight is there. This is just the first one of like, is it 4 or 5 layers? I think it's, well, it's 4, I can't remember now, but yeah, so it's a bit of a process, but it's worth it when it's done. It just takes a bit of time. It's quite nice because all the bases are kind of done and ready to go, so I just need to... I did those ages ago. It's just a case of working through and getting the getting the paint done. They're getting there. And I've only got until some point mid-March to have all of them done, which sounds like a long time, but it really isn't. Yeah, it's not going to happen, but I don't think anyway, personally. You can try. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a nice evening anyway. I hope you're all set and ready for Christmas and stuff. Hope you're having a bit of time off and seeing people if we're able to. I always do my best to try and get as much time off work as I can this time of year. It's not always doable, but I do my best. Yeah. And I say this every time. Every time I do one of these, I end up saying this. But yeah, it's so weird how quiet it is in the house when I do these, because it's always when the kids and everybody's out, you know. So, which is just the fact that it's silent in here is really weird to me. I'm not used to it. I'm just used to constant noise. Not a bad thing, obviously, but it's just unusual being in the house like this. Silly Wawa, hello. Hello to you too. Hope you're well. Sorry, I'm having a couple of beers while I'm doing this as well, so I hope nobody minds that. I'm just sort of winding down, as I said, after quite a busy few weeks. And I wouldn't normally be drinking while I was painting, but I quite fancied it tonight, so. Good, that's good to say. Good to know you don't mind, that's fine. That's good, that's nice to hear. Yeah. Not something I do on a regular basis, but, you know, it's Christmas, so I'm treating myself. Yeah, so anyway, this is just kind of first initial step of putting the highlights on. All the base coating's done on the main bulk of the armour and stuff. I've already done the sort of the pin wash in there, and yeah, this is the first step for the highlights. It is very subtle. I know it's difficult to see, but it is there, and it does make a difference once the rest of the highlighting is done. I have tried without this step. This is quite subtle. Like, it's quite a chunky highlight. You can just see it there, I think. But the finished scheme doesn't really work as well without it, so it is kind of one of those necessary steps, even though it's very subtle. I have tried to paint them without it, and like in order to sort of speed things up a little bit and skip a step, but it doesn't really work. I don't like it as much anyway, so it's not worth doing. So yeah, this is quite a quick step really, because it's quite a big chunky highlight, so you don't have to be too sort of precious with it, and obviously try to stay tidy, but it's not you have to be quite as precise, you know, so you can get through this step relatively quickly. I'm trying to sort of break these down into smaller chunks, you know, kind of doing one step, maybe do all that. I might just do this particular layer of the highlights on all three of them, and then leave it at that for a little bit and work on something else for a bit, and then come back to them, rather than trying to do the whole thing in one go, because there's quite a lot to do on them, and yeah, it can be a bit sort of daunting when you've got quite a lot of them to get through. So the end result is quite nice. I like the way they look when they're done, so it is worth it. It's worth the extra time. Anyway, yeah, so I've not really done any painting this week at all. It's been like all I finished up the monolith that you can sort of see in the background, and then I took a bit of time, a bit of a break, and then I was really ill. Really ill pretty much all this week. So I've not I've not done any work at all. Just been, well, not work on this sort of stuff anyway. Real job work I have, but yeah, as soon as we're getting home, pretty much just go to bed and feeling sorry for myself. So yeah, not done any painting. Yeah, I'm just feeling much better now, so it's all good. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was going to work on some of the Gene Seeker cult stuff, but then I saw these guys and thought, oh, they needed some work, so they got dug out. As I say, I'm not sure how much I'm going to actually do on them tonight, but it might just be a case of getting this highlight done and then call it a night. But it's something. It's all progress. Maybe a little bit added as a step closer to them being finished. And also, I'm going to be really busy over the next few days, Christmas and stuff, and family and all of that. So It's quite nice to kind of just have a bit of downtime right now and sit and do this. Yeah, and because I had a bit of I did a lot of work on the Marines, on these guys for a few months, and then yeah, they kind of got put back in the box and forgotten about for a little while. So it's nice to kind of get them back out again. There's a lot more work to do, but they're getting there. It'd be quite nice to kind of get all this stuff done. As I said, anything that doesn't get done gets sent off to a channel member anyway, so I get to clear all my backlog down, and it's either mine and finished and painted, or it goes off to channel member and it's gone. So I get to start fresh, and then yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm quite interested in all that new Krieg stuff that's meant to be coming out in January. I do quite fancy giving that a go, but I don't know. But I want to get all this stuff out of the way first before I haven't bought anything. I haven't bought anything new for 6 months, at least. Which is pretty good going, I think, for me. I think in the new year it'll be going back to my adding to the Gene Stealer cult stuff, and maybe get a few more bits for Necrons as well. Doing that monolith recently, I was got back into that again, got back into painting them, so yeah. And they've been finished for forever really. I've not bought anything for them apart from the monolith, I've not added to them for a good few years now, so it might be quite nice to get a few more bits for them. Add a few little bits and bobs in there. That might be quite nice. I enjoy painting them. Yeah, I don't know how well that shows up anyway. If you can see the difference, does it show up? It's quite subtle. It is there though. I mean, I think you can. This one's definitely darker. It's hard to know sometimes what you can see when you're filming, you know. No, can't see the difference. It is there, I promise. It's very subtle. It is there. And it does make a big difference when once the rest of the layers of these colours go on and it starts brightening up. It does make a big difference. I don't have any of the finished ones here, unfortunately. They're all out in the studio, so I don't have them to hand at the moment. So I'll have to sort of show you what they look like when they're done. Is this a particular project or just working with the past shame? Bit of both. This is my this is just basically part of my collection of unpainted or unfinished marines that are this is going towards my sort of personal army. It's not part of a commission or anything like that, so yeah, these are mine. But yeah, it's kind of yeah. Well, again, just yeah, working through the unpainted stuff. So these just I've already finished. Well, I finished a while back. 2 of the 5. So these 3 still need doing. What chapter are you painting? Oh, this is my custom chapter called the Spectral Wolves. So yeah, this is my sort of custom one. But yeah, it's sort of an ongoing project that I pick up every now and then. I've got a ton of sort of unpainted ones that are sitting there waiting. Well, most of them kind of half done, like base coats on and stuff. Most of them are basically at this stage. Pretty much all of them are like this. And yeah, whenever I sort of feel in the mood to do it, I pick them up and add a little bit more to them. You know, finish off a few more. It's very slow progress on them, but yeah, it's kind of just a long term project. And it's one of those ones that I have to be in the right mood to want to work on, because I know at the moment I'm kind of going through this relatively quickly, but the next few steps after this, when it starts getting layering up the highlights and stuff, it starts getting quite, you have to be quite careful. I'm trying to keep them very clean and tidy, and yeah, they're quite slow going. So this is why I kind of put them down for a good, a couple of months sometimes, then come pick a couple more up. I know you have a variant scheme for the first company, but are there any details that differentiate the other companies? No, not really. They're all pretty much the same, apart from company number that sits on, which one would that be? His right knee pad. So company markings on there, numbers, squad marking on the back, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Each of the other companies kind of has a they kind of like built like a mini sort of chapter in themselves. So there's not like whether you have loads of intercessors and stuff. So how would you explain? So each company would have, say, 100 Marines in it, and then that would then be broken up into. You'd have Phobos Marines in there, so the infiltrators and everything. So each little company can kind of act almost sort of out on its own. They have a little bit of everything in each one. So I'm trying to build the whole of the second company, as well as all the guys for the first company as well. So the plan is eventually, when they're done, to have two full companies finished, which is, yeah, I mean, as I say, long term project. It's not going to happen anytime soon. I've been working on these for a good few years, and they're not even close to getting to it. But that's kind of in my head, that's where I want to get them. So yeah, having a full 100 of them, all marked up with the right numbers and stuff. But yeah, they don't, the rest of the companies are will be pretty much identical. Maybe slightly different weapon loadouts and that sort of thing, but there's not a huge amount to sort of differentiate them from each other, apart from the numbers on them. But you know, I could always change that. I could always, it's all made up, isn't it? So that's the nice thing about having a custom chapter, is that you can, you know, if I decided I wanted to do something different, I could have a company of them like in black armor and give them a reason to having that or something. You can keep adding to it, so it's quite nice. It's all very open-ended. I think I've actually started doing this guy. You can see. I think this one got started a while back and got sort of forgotten about. But yeah, I want to, at some point, have 100, at least 100 of these guys in the blue armor. So done, all painted up. So basically have the entire second company of them is what I'd like to do. That's sort of and then all the extras of the first company, they're in the kind of the cream armor as an extra. But yeah, that's kind of, I'd just like to see it. I'd like to have them all marked up, and that's what I'm sort of working towards. But I don't know if I'll ever get to that stage. It's good to have a goal, something to work towards, something to motivate you, I suppose. Yeah, so that's the thing. They are. So you have like 2 and 5 is like and then 6 to 9, isn't it? They're like all the kind of the support ones, and then you've got 10 is the 10th company is the scouts and stuff. So I'm kind of not really doing that. I'm kind of having so these guys have a little bit of everything within each company. Maybe not the scouts. I haven't got any scouts, and I haven't really worked out what I would do with them. I might do something completely different with them if I ever get any. I quite like the idea of maybe doing something, maybe having them in a different scheme entirely. As I said, maybe like black. I quite like the idea of doing black armor for them if I ever get some. Although I do have a test one which is sat here, which I'm going to do at some point. He's going to be the test run for when I do some scouts. Where do you get the little bowl on the base? So these guys. So the bottle, the little Coke cans, and these sort of shell casings and stuff. They're all from it's a guy named Rich who runs a company called RGB Minis. He's got an Instagram page, so go and give him a follow because he's a very nice guy. And yeah, so I bought, you know, he's basically he sells loads of stuff, but also does these sort of 3D printed bits and stuff. So basing things and little bugs and insects and all sorts. So yeah, so the bottles and the thing and these bits and pieces were from them. So yeah, worth having a look. And he sells a lot of other stuff as well. A lot of kind of 10mm scale miniatures, kind of epic scale stuff. And yeah, he's a nice guy, so he deserves you to go and check out his page. And yeah, all the little basing bits are really good. I've got quite a lot of them. Yes, so what was I saying? So yeah, the idea is that each of the companies will have a little bit of everything. So I think I did write it down at one point, try and work out what I want, because it is more, a lot of it was about what I wanted to actually buy and paint and have. So there's like a couple of, like, within one company, be like 2 squads of 2 10-man intercessors, I think, some infiltrators in there, 1 10-man unit of these guys, bit of a mix of everything. And the idea is kind of, it fits in with the sort of the lore, the background and stuff that I've got for them. So, and each company can kind of act a little bit independently of each other. So they have a little bit of everything. Not many vehicles and not much, not all the big stuff, but yeah, it sort of works with their sort of the background and stuff that I kind of got in my head for them. And it means that way I can buy the stuff I want and have them all with the same company markings and stuff, so they all look uniform and together, even though, you know, if you were following the standard stuff, they wouldn't all necessarily be in the same group, you know, same company. So that was kind of my thinking anyway. Because one day I'd like to have a cabinet with them all in. I'm probably just overthinking it, to be honest. I still think the spectrum is okay. I think they said they often operate as squads or even individual sport. Yeah, that's the idea. So they generally would be acting as individuals or very small groups. Obviously, that doesn't work game wise, but yeah, that would be kind of how I see them. If you've ever played Metal Gear Solid, that's kind of how I think about them. Influencing stuff from behind the scenes, you know. Very small teams or individuals. Which is why, you know, I won't really be doing. I've got 1 tank. I've got 2 dreadnoughts, and that's. I might potentially get one or 2 more of the bigger things, but that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to be mainly infantry. Yeah, I definitely started doing this layer on this guy at some point. Oh yeah, so he's a sergeant as well. That's why he's got the the cream helmet. And then each sort of 10-man squad would then have another guy with a red helmet as well. That's sort of like a, I don't know if they do it anymore. They used to do it a million years ago when I first started getting into all this stuff, back in like the second edition stuff, where this a 10-man like tactical squad would have a sergeant, and then you'd have like a squad leader, which kind of, I suppose, acted like the sergeant if you split them into two 5-man squads. So I was kind of trying to do that as well. So if I buy another 5 of these guys and paint them up, then one of them, rather than being, he'll have a red helmet. So that way, if I'm playing them as running them all as a 10-man thing, then yeah, this kind of makes, again, I'm overthinking it, but that's kind of how I do things, unfortunately. I overthink everything. But yeah, so the idea is that, yeah, if I did another one, then the sergeant would have like a squad leader thing, he'd have a red helmet. It's kind of like a veteran rather than a sergeant. I don't know if that's still a thing. It used to be. Keep it up, I've got a few videos and keen to follow on the Lord's Spot, yeah. Oh, cheers, man. Well, thank you very much. I'm definitely going to get some more marine videos up. I did 3 in a row on them, because I was kind of, the thing is, when I make videos for the channel, it's always what I'm working on anyway. I'm not, I've always got ideas of stuff that I wanted to film, stuff, think the things that people think might be interested in, but it's always stuff that that I want to work on. I don't do things that I wasn't going to be painting anyway. Does that make sense? So that's why there's 3 videos on the Marines all sort of came out in one go, because I was kind of having that sort of flow. I was kind of working on them and enjoying it and filming at the same time and stuff. So, and people seem to like it as well. So that was an added bonus. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do some more on them. I'm looking at I've got 2 librarians that need doing. I've got a Terminator librarian and the standard guy, librarian. So I've got an idea that might be something to do next, or maybe not next. I've got a couple more things that kind of I'm working on at the moment, but as filming wise anyway. But I think those 2 librarians will be like the next marine thing that I stick up on the channel. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with them. Whether to paint them just the standard stuff, like just how you would normally paint a librarian, which is kind of like painting an ultramarine, really, isn't it, I suppose? Or do something different with them. I might do something different with them, work out some way of making them a little bit different. I had a couple of ideas in my head, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about doing it. But yeah, I'll definitely come back to Marines at some point in the channel, because I do enjoy doing them and people seem to like them. So, but as I said, it's what I'm working on at the time and what I'm in the mood to do. Because I can't. If I didn't want to do it or I wasn't enjoying it, it's not. There's no point. I wouldn't be. I've done a few projects over the years, where I've just not enjoyed it. Not many, but there's been a few, and it's not worth the time. Might as well be on something you actually want to be working on. So yeah, I'll definitely be coming back to them. I'll definitely do some more on the channel at some point. especially now the monolith's out of the way. I'm quite pleased about that. That was quite a task to get that done. But I genuinely enjoyed it. It was good. It was a fun process. A very long time, but I think it took about a month to do that one. But worth it, I think. I enjoyed it, and it was a fun project. It was good. Again, it kind of gave me a bit of a bug to get back to my do a few more Necrons, you know. It's been such a long time since I did any add into my my collection, but again, maybe in the new year, if I can find some money to to buy some more. We'll see. Yeah, my Necrons. I've got lots and lots of the infantry and stuff. I don't really have any of the vehicles and the big stuff. So it's a Triarch Stalker. I quite fancied getting one of them. I like that. I like the look of that. And some of the little, I can't remember what they're called now, little fast moving things. What are they called? Tomb Blades. Yeah. And also the oh god, what's it called? The Void Dragon. I would really like to give that a go. Right, I think that's that done. That step anyway. I think I can hear the baby moving around, so I might have to disappear. Tell you what, I'm gonna duck out for a bit because I need to go and just double check she's all right. Cause she's making noise and stuff. So anyway, thanks very much. I know relatively short and nothing too exciting, but I just wanted to jump on and say hi. So yeah, nice to see you. Thanks very much for coming on and giving me company for a little bit. Yeah, I'll try and get a few more of these done in the new year, and maybe over Christmas as well, if I can find some time to do it. So yeah, thanks very much, and yeah, have a lovely evening. I'll speak to you all soon. Thank you.